Welcome back everyone to episode 28 of my Legend of Grimrock 2 guide. We're still in the Wormbound Catacombs. We've got a little bit more to go in this area before we can head down into the final stage. Just a quick reminder of where we're up to. So we came in here. We passed over the bridge here, and now we've got the final area to explore here with the exit down to the next level. So we've got to solve a fireball based puzzle over here, and once we've solved it we'll gain access to the room over here. And if you just look carefully, kind of in the room around here, you can see a crystal helmet on the floor. It's part of Nico's crystal set, so we need to get our hands on that. Just avoid the fireball here, and we can progress into the fireball area. Now we could cast a fire shield here just to protect us, but I think with some fast clicking we don't need to bother too much. Just follow the fireball through, and then once you're in this area, you're okay as long as you're not parallel to one of these teleporters. You're safe from the fireballs. So now we're here, in this bottom corner. We need to press a secret button on this wall here. So once this teleporter in front of us gets a fireball into it and it gets redirected, that'll give us a chance to quickly step forward. Press the button here, and it deactivates the teleporters. So once we see the bar go across the screen, we can head across into the end of this bridge area, where we get access to that room we could see over here with the crystal gear in it. That's the room that's ahead of us. So what we need to do is press this button on the wall, and a force field pathway is going to appear underneath us, one of those purple ones. Then we've got to take, I think it's 3 or 4 steps back, and then 1 step this way into the room here. And the field doesn't appear for long, so it's difficult to actually turn around and see where you're going. So I recommend you just do it blind. So I'll try and do it now. There we go. And there, the field's gone already. That's how quick you have to be. So while we're in here, we get the Ice Guardian figurine. So this figurine is the solution to the puzzle we found earlier about with icicles from below I strike at thee, with the little trap area. So we can put this into the little knock in the wall, and the force field should open up, letting us drop down to the item underneath. And then just what we wanted, the final piece of the crystal set. So Nico can have this, and then this metal helmet's useless now. Oliver doesn't need it. So the crystal helm gives us 15 protection and 5 health with a weight of 3.5 kilograms. So this helmet weighs more and it gives us less. Only 12 protection compared to 15. So the helmet's useless. So we'll head back now and actually use the figurine. As we head back into this area, there's a chance we could encounter some of the fire elementals that we ran away from in the previous episode over here. So we need to just be alert in case we get ambushed. But I don't think the damage is going to be that significant. So it's kind of just below us here. So the fire elementals could come from that direction. But yeah, just a reminder of what this actually says. With icicles from beneath, I strike at thee. And that's the attack these Ice Guardians have when you meet the real ones. So we drop down and we get access to a Tome of Water, which increases our cold resistance. So Oliver, 11 resistance. Nico, 48. Jasmin's on 100 because she's an expert in cold magic, which gives her a big boost of resistances. and Galden's at 77 because he's a Lizardman with a lot of natural resistance and is wearing a lot of this mirror set which gives him resist. So I think, I'm not sure late game, Galden might not be wearing this. I might switch him out into the Archmage set and give Jasmin the crystals, the mirror set. So that would have the effect of reducing Galden's water resist. So who to give it to? Oliver only has 11, but he's got a lot of natural health, so I don't think he really needs it. Let's give it to Nico for now. Oh, let's give it to Nico, yep. Now we head back into that room. The fire puzzle's solved now, so we can kind of ignore that area. But for the record, I mean, I think I'll do it. If you drop down here, you can trigger an ambush, where you get to fight a lot of those zombie guys. I think the trigger's over here somewhere. Here we go. So it's kind of free XP. And given we ran away from the elementals in the last fight, we may as well collect a bit of bonus experience here. The one thing I don't like about the Bane is that its special attack requires 80 energy, which is like a massive proportion of what we have. Yeah, second ambush here. We'll back ourselves into the car now, should be okay. So yeah, I'm not liking the Bane too much in the back line. We need to work on our energy regen if we're going to have it as a full-time weapon. Otherwise we're going to be drinking a lot of potions just to keep us attacking. Yeah, so you can ignore this zombie fight if you want to. Oof, nice attack. But yeah, it's just a bit of bonus experience after we skipped a little bit in yesterday's episode. I think there's some little arrows down here for the crossbow. So not bad if you need them. But yeah, we're done in there now. And the next area involves this guy here. So we fire something out of his mouth, one of those kind of white energy looking balls. And you've got to get it into this hole here. The problem is this teleporter's in the way. So what we need to do is, we need to press the button on the wall here, which fires one of those balls out. It'll go into this teleporter, it'll get redirected towards us, over here, and it'll hit that door. So we need to press the button below us here, or pull the lever below us to open that door, so the ball can go in. And then once the ball's in this room, it'll hit the teleporter over there, and get redirected straight back towards us. At which point, this door's going to be shut, because the lever below us toggles these two doors. So once the ball starts coming back, we've then got to push the lever below us again to reopen this door. The ball's going to re-enter it, be redirected to the left, go into this hole, and open the door here. So there's a little bit of like rhythm involved here. But as long as we start with this door open, then we push this, wait for the ball to come through. Fail, that was too slow. Actually, so we need to open the door again. But there's no monsters around here or anything difficult, so just try it a couple of times and eventually. There you go. back in, and now the door's opened. So yeah, because the two buttons are close to each other, you don't really spend anything by having multiple attempts. It's strange, as I'm stood here, I can actually hear a fire elemental out of my left ear. Oh, so my right ear, I can hear something burning. So I guess that tells us those elementals we set loose over here. There's some of them flying around this area. I'm hoping they're not getting that close to us. Right, so we've got a few of these blue crystal flowers, so we may as well make use of this. So what do I want to make? I think a vitality potion on my back. 2 guys. Then let's make a strength one for Galden. Then a willpower for Galden as well. So his energy goes up by 5 for every point of willpower. And with this Bane being really hungry for energy, 80 per special attack. We'll definitely need it. Although I am kind of tempted to go back to the Claymore, as its special attack only takes 40 energy. But yeah, I'll persevere for now. So the next area is like a mini boss encounter. So you look down here and around 8 of those zombie guys burst out the ground. And that's the area we've got to drop down into. If you look carefully, you can see a lever just down there. There's 3 more of those. We need 1 lever to lower this gate over here so we can teleport back out. Another lever opens the gate directly below us, where the blue crystal is, so the power gem is. And then to exit the level, we need to open these 2 gates here, which are also controlled by 2 levers. So that's what the 4 levers down here actually do. So one way to do this is to just drop down in the corner, maybe kill one of them on the way down as you drop, and then just stand there and just tank all the damage on your kind of outer 3 characters. Maybe use like some crowd control, like that, or frost bombs to freeze the enemies. Another option is to use the invisibility of the Silver Scepter, or the invisibility spell if you've got it. And then once you're down there invisible, you can kind of backstab a few of these to kill them. And then once the numbers are thinned out, you can pull the rest of the levers. So I think what we'll try is kind of a mix of the 2. We'll go invisible. Let's do a quick save. And then once we're invisible, we'll drop down. And once you're down here now, it's not a great kind of problem. I find at this stage you can just tank it up. And I'll save Jasmin. I'll save her sort of cooldown for casting more of these force fields. The charged attack from this Bane, it might use a lot of energy, but it certainly hits hard. Is there any more left now? No, just the last one. So yeah, I think the tactic I used there is probably the best one. Use invisibility, kill a couple of them with some backstabs. and keep an eye on when invisibilities actually run off, because it doesn't last long at all. And then once it runs off, either cast it again and try and get away with a couple more backstabs, or then just tank up in the corner and stay safe. So you get some cannonballs, helmet, tattered shirt. So that's the power gem we can get access to. And then once you've killed maybe 3 of them, you could potentially just try and pull all the levers yourself and get out. Right, so is there anything else that we've missed? I think that's it. So there we go, only 2 more to go. 1 more from the catacombs at the lower level. And then 1 more from the Isle of Nex. So now, yeah, we can head down to the lower level. Oh yeah, and if you do get beaten up in here, don't use any health potions or anything, because there's a health crystal through this door. So try and save your consumables. Also a wind gate to the surface. This takes us to the graveyard. That gate we couldn't open earlier from this side. So there's a Sleet Island over here. So we can pull this lever. And go back to the hub if we needed to, or whatever else you might want to do. But we don't want to do that. Yeah, so here's the crystal. So this is the crypt of Orul Wormbound. So the upper level was a Zarul Wormbound, or Zarant Wormbound, and now it's his brother Orul down here. And he's about as easy to kill as his brother was. Alright, so in this room there's a few consumables lying around. This black mass. So let's just have a look. And then we get 3 teleporters, this place to the sanctuary. And then once you go in there, you get a key. The power gem's eventually in here. Another place around here called the Mausoleum. You go into there, complete the puzzles, you get another key for this lock. And then finally, on the far side, you get another key into the laboratory. Alright, so which one you do first doesn't matter too much. So, I'll take the far side. The lab. Okay, so you get a lot of guys in these force fields. So you see a good selection here of the enemies that we've faced so far. And then the idea is to open this door, so we've got to solve a puzzle first. So you get 4 of these kind of force fielded blocked off areas. There's an item in each one. Then your clue in the centre is I differ, who am I? So what it means is you've got to kind of play the odd one out. One of these four items is different from the rest. Work out which one is different and then pull the handle associated with it. Do that about 5-6 times and the door opens up. And if you mess up and pull the wrong one, some of these creatures get unleashed. Now, if you want the XP, you can just keep pulling the wrong one and blowing all these guys away. Like 2 or 3 get released at a time. And as it's like just 1 of each basic enemy type, you can just pull the wrong lever here and just get the experience. It doesn't make much difference. But for the record, I'll tell you what the clues are. So first time, we've got a gold key, a gold scepter, which looks a bit like the jeweled scepter of ruling, I guess it is. We've got a gold lock, so 3 gold things, and then a stick. So as this isn't made of gold, that's the odd one out. So we pull the handle, then all the items change to their next form. So here, that's actually a piece of meat, if you can just make it out. With the blue tint from the force field, it can be quite hard to see. But that's meat. That's a drink. That's food. And that's also food. So here we've got 3 foods and 1 drink. So the drink is the odd one out. Then we get an axe, a shield, kind of another kind of stone axe, and a helmet. Now in this case the helmet's the odd one out, I think, because the other ones you can hold in your hand. And so all these are handheld, apart from the helmet you put on your head. Then we get this, which I think, if you look at the symbol on the front, it's a fire potion. I think it matches this symbol. So that's a fire bomb, sorry. Then you get some kind of little potion. Then you get a book and a hat. So this one's quite obscure, but from what I've gathered from my own kind of trial and error is, well, I know the hat's the odd one out, and I think it's because all of these are consumables. That's what I gathered. You consume a book to gain stats. That might regain some health, and that's, and you kind of use that as such. So you use 3 of them, then they disappear, whereas the hat stays forever. That's what I took from that anyway. Next we have a spider, a blob, a turtle, and a snake. So what I gathered here is the snake poisons you, the turtle doesn't, the slime can give you a poison effect, and so can the spider. So I think 3 of these give you a status effect, the turtle doesn't. So we pull that. Then finally, we have a wyvern, skeleton, stone elemental dude, and like a warg. So that one can walk, that walks, he walks, then this flies. So as a flying one, it's the odd one out. And there we go. It all disappears, and we get the door open in the distance. So it's a bit long-winded, and and even if you get it all wrong and just release all these monsters, this door opens anyway. So you might just want to pull the wrong one, take the little bit of damage you sustain when you pull the wrong one, and then just blow the enemies away for the bonus XP. So the next room we've got here is another one of these floor spike puzzles. We have to get to the other side. So the clue we get is here. Right, here's the clue from the last episode to do with the silver scepter. So we might as well get rid of that clue. Yeah, so the new clue says, what can never be observed, but its presence prevents everything from being seen. Answer me this, and you shall be guided to the other side. So the answer to that riddle, what can never be observed, but its presence prevents everything from being seen, the answer is darkness. So we need to create darkness here by killing the lights. So we have a darkness spell. We can cast that, which gets rid of like the environmental darkness, but there's still some torches here. Then there's one torch down there that we have to kill. So we can quickly... Oops, missed it there. That was a bit rubbish. Have a quick rest. There we go. So now we're in complete darkness. You'll see that some parts of the floor are lit up. Now I think even if we use a light spell in here, the dark areas and light areas can still be seen. So you don't actually need the darkness spell. It just makes it a bit more clear. So let's wait for one of these light areas to show up. Then once one of those light areas is within reach, that's an area that's not going to be filled with spikes when the lights rotate next time. Whoops, miles away from that one. I must have missed one to the side. Then the ladders are going up. Let's have a quick rest there. Yeah, I guess at the start there, when I got hit, there would have been a light to the left or right of me, but I was just looking straight forward. But at this stage in the game, you should be able to take one hit. So here's our skull key, which is the whole point of coming in here. Now there is one secret over here, and to actually activate that we need to press a button on the wall over here. So I think it's on that wall you can see there. So let's wait for a chance to actually press that. There it is. Now we can go back up the ladder. Yeah, so it's just against the wall around here, and the light will always appear on it after a short while. Then you press it, this door opens up. And you get some more lockpicks. And a chest, which is a fire blade, which is like a standard long sword that does fire damage. You don't need that. And we also get a fire torque, which boosts our fire resist by +50. So situationally, that can be quite good. So we'll keep that for later use. Now we just need to get to the other side. There are some little items on the floor as you move around here. There's some like ammunition and some like other bombs or whatever. But nothing we really need, so we'll bail out of that. And that's this part of the room done. We've got our skeleton key, our skull key. There's 2 more of these little rooms to solve to get the next 2 skull keys. Right, so even though we got the skull key associated with this side of the room, we can actually use it on any of these locks. And the way the boss fight works in the end, when you're in this room, there's a couple of ways of doing it, but leaving this one on the top side as the final one you unlock can actually be beneficial. So I'll be using my keys on this one and the bottom one first. You'll see why when the boss fight comes along. Just 1 down, 2 to go. So I'll cut the episode here. Next time we'll go into the final 2 areas. They're pretty quick, then it's the boss fight. So I think with 1 more video we should be done with Orul's Crypt. Then we can get our 3rd power gem, head into the castle for the end game last couple of videos. So thank you for watching guys, stay tuned next time, and I'll see you next time.